Tashidelek and welcome to Tibet This Week. Each week we bring you the latest updates on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let us dive into the headlines. His Holiness the Dalai Lama celebrates the anniversary of Tsongkhapa's passing away. His Holiness the Dalai Lama sends condolences on the passing of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. China wrongfully detains over 20 Tibetans and beats village head Gonpo Namgyal to death. Sikyong Penpa Tsering successfully concluded official engagements in the United States, meets with Tibetan community members in Santa Fe, Salt Lake City, Portland, and San Francisco. United Kingdom House of Lords raises concerns over systematic erasure of Tibet's true historical status. Co-convener MP Tapir of All-Party Indian Parliamentary Forum for Tibet speaks on His Holiness the Dalai Lama in Indian Parliament. Tibetan Parliament released press statement on China's sanctions against Tibetan and Uyghur advocacy groups in Canada. Representative Kama Singh expresses earnest condolences on the demise of former Australian Minister Kevin Andrews. Representative Dr. Tsering Arya meets Japanese Parliamentary Support Group Chairperson and General Secretary. Speaker Khenpo Sonam Temple congratulates Taiwanese Labour Minister Hong Sen-han. Earlier this week, on the day of Christmas, which coincided with the Tibetans' observation of Gande Ngache, the anniversary of Tsongkhapa's passing away, His Holiness the Dalai Lama participated in a prayer ceremony honoring this important Geluk anniversary, which saw the attendance estimated 3,500 people at the main temple. The ceremony began with the recitation of the prayer in 3 cantonums, followed by the offering to the spiritual master, the Lama Chöpa, interspersed with a Mandala offering, a review of the Bodhisattva and Tantric vows, verses of confession, and then the 9-line Mingme Tsewa prayers in praise of Tsongkhapa's qualities. This Thursday late evening, the nation mourned the passing of former Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Upon hearing the news, His Holiness the Dalai Lama wrote to his widow, Mrs. Gurcharan Kaur, to convey his condolences and sorrow. In the letter, His Holiness have said he will remember him in his prayers and offered his condolences to his wife and his family member at this sad time. His Holiness wrote he deeply appreciated his concern and counsel and considered him like an elder brother who is motivated by a wish to help others and had significantly contributed to India's development, economic growth, and the well-being of its people while being a good friend to Tibetans. His Holiness concluded that the former PM lived a truly meaningful life and inspiration to us all at the age of 92. Today, Khenpo Sonam Temple, the Speaker of Tibetan Parliament in exile, also extended his heartfelt condolences on demise of former Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. The Speaker, in his condolence letter to the former Prime Minister's wife, Gurcharan Kaur Kohli, have said, with his demise, India and world has lost a towering leader with clean political life who embodied simple living and high thinking. Furthermore, Speaker has written that the former Prime Minister will be remembered for his humility and outstanding services to the nation. Chinese authorities wrongfully detained more than 20 Tibetans and severely tortured a Tibetan village head named Gonpo Namgyal to death with a repeated use of electric equipment in detention for several months in Pongor Township, Dala County in Golok, in the traditional Tibetan province of Amdo, now incorporated into Qinghai, Sichuan and Gansu provinces. In May, the Chinese authorities arrested over 20 Tibetans, including Abbot Khenpo Tempa Tharke and village head Gonpo Namgyal, during a pure mother tongue campaign led by the Tibetan Language Association in Golok. Both were forcibly taken to the Golok Prefecture headquarters. Tragically, Gonpo Namgyal died on December 18th after 7 months of severe torture and inhuman treatment. He was released briefly due to illness, and he passed away 3 days later with evidence of electric torture found during cremation preparations. Khenpo Tempa Tharke, a respected Buddhist teacher and close associate of Lama Jigme Phunzo, had long led efforts to preserve the Tibetan language and culture. His guidance to nomadic communities, including discouraging livestock slaughter, drew government ire. In May, he was lured to a meeting in Darla County and detained. His followers remained deeply concerned for his well-being, holding prayers for his release. The Chinese government's crackdown, including the persecution of influential Tibetans like Tempa Tharke and torture of Gonpo Namgyal, aligns with its campaign to suppress Tibetan identity under the guise of Chinese national unity. The suppression of Tibetan language and culture persists, threatening human rights and weakening Tibetan resistance. Without confronting these policies, the survival of Tibetan identity remains in jeopardy. Continuing his U.S. official tour, Sikyong Penpa Tsering visited Santa Fe, New Mexico, Salt Lake City, Utah, and Portland, Oregon, fostering unity and engagement among Tibetan communities and youth despite a packed schedule. In Santa Fe on December 17, Sikyong addressed the Tibetan community, emphasizing unity over internal divisions for the Tibetan cause. On December 18, in Salt Lake City, he held interactive sessions with Tibetan youth, promoted active participation in advocacy efforts, and recommended influential books like Tibettv 2020 and Professor Lau's book on Tibet, followed by a community address alongside notable figures. In Portland on December 19, Sikyong engaged with the local Tibetan community, visited Sunday school classrooms, and awarded Tibetan youths the prestigious President's Volunteer Service Awards for outstanding contributions. At every stop, Sikyong's core message was clear: unity and collective efforts are vital for the Tibetan cause. On December 21, Sikyong Penpa Tsering concluded his U.S. official tour in San Francisco, greeted warmly by the city's large Tibetan community. At an evening event at Berkeley Adult School, he honored Professor Dr. Michael Van Walt Van Praag, co-author of Tibettv 2020, for his steadfast advocacy for Tibet. Professor Michael underscored the inevitability of historical change, remarking, "No empire has survived forever. Communist China will fall." During his address, Sikyong discussed diaspora challenges, highlighting efforts like Minnesota Charter School and Tibet Town Project to preserve Tibetan culture. He also visited the Tibetan Sunday School, engaging with students and urging them to deepen their knowledge of Tibetan history and culture. He emphasized critical engagement with the Chinese narrative on Tibet's development and the importance of preserving Tibetan heritage through initiatives like Lagar. In addition to meeting Tibet supporters and visiting Gyude Foundation, Sikyong gave an interview to ABC News Live, which aired on December 23rd.
Difficult to maintain communication with them because China controls all communications, and they make sure that whenever anything happens inside Tibet, everybody knows that the world, the media and the governments look for evidence when something happens. They make sure that there is no evidence of what is happening. So it's very difficult for us to keep in touch with our relatives inside Tibet.
He departed San Francisco on December 24th, successfully concluding his tour. On the 40th anniversary of Sino-British Joint Declaration on 19 December, the members of the House of Lords debated the government policy towards China, especially in relation to human rights and security issue arising from Chinese actions in Tibet, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South China Sea, and against the Uyghurs in East Turkestan. During the session, a group of members of the House of Lords, led by Lord David Alton, including Lord Martin Callanan, Baroness Smith, Lord Bishop and Baroness Barney raised their concerns over the PRC's continued violations of human rights in the above regions, as well as intensified transboundary repression and espionage. The group also scrutinized various aspects of the UK government's policies towards China.
On Tibet, the Chinese Communist Party's decades-long campaign to erase Tibetan culture, their religion, their identity, is a stain on the conscience of the international community. And, let's not forget that not that long ago, Tibet was an independent country. Nobody now refers to it as that. It is in effect been absorbed into China, and the Tibetan people have been slowly eradicated. I had the honour a few years ago of meeting the Dalai Lama in his exile home in Dharamsala. I do not share his religion, but he is an inspirational character, continuing to preach non-violence in the face of all of the threats and indeed genocides that the Tibetan people have faced.
On December 16, during 0 hour in the Indian Parliament, Shri Tapir MP from Arunachal Pradesh and co-convener of the All-Party Indian Parliamentary Forum for Tibet, called for official recognition of His Holiness the Dalai Lama institution and urged the government to confer the Bharat Ratna on His Holiness the Dalai Lama and for his contributions to peace and religious harmony. Shri Tapir also stressed the need for India to prepare for His Holiness reincarnation, warning against China's attempts to control the process. His remarks underscored rising concerns over China's interference in Tibetan religious matters and its implications for Tibet and India. On behalf of the Tibetan people, Khenpo Sonam Tempel, Speaker of the Tibetan Parliament in Exile, expressed gratitude to Shri Tapir for advocating for Tibet in Parliament. Sharing his speech online, Shri Gao emphasized the global importance of safeguarding His Holiness the Dalai Lama's rightful succession and highlighted His Holiness' role as a symbol of peace and universal brotherhood. On Wednesday this week, the Tibetan Parliament in Exile has released a press statement in support of Canada-Tibet Committee, the Uyghur Rights Advocacy Project, and 20 other human rights advocates who has been imposed sanctions by the PRC government. The Tibetan Parliament in Exile stands in solidarity with the members of the Canada-Tibet Committee and the Uyghur Rights Advocacy Project, applauding their courage in speaking out against the atrocities and severe human rights violations committed by China. Furthermore, Tibetan Parliament in Exile condemns China's decision to sanction these organizations and individuals and call on China to immediately cease all forms of transnational repression designed to intimidate and silence those who courageously speak out for human rights at home and abroad. On Monday this week, Representative Kama Singh expressed condolences on the certain passing away of former Australian Minister Kevin Andrews, a longtime friend of Tibet who visited Dharamshala in 2017 and met His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Tibetan leaders. In a letter to his wife, the representative mourned his loss, calling it significant for Tibetans and honoring his dedication to the Tibet cause. Kevin Andrews was one of Australia's longest-serving federal parliamentarians. He held roles including Minister of Defence and Minister of Immigration and Citizenship in Australia. Representative Tsongkhapa of the Liaison Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama for Japan and East Asia visited the Japan Parliament building in Nakatacho, Tokyo, and met with Japan Parliamentarian Support Group for Tibet's chairperson Eriko Yamatani and General Secretary Hiroshi Yamata. The meeting with the two lawmakers aimed to follow up on the resolutions from the December 19 Working Committee meeting, update them on the situation in Tibet, discuss the U.S. Resolve Tibet Act, share its Japanese translation, and plan upcoming events. Representative Arya also conveyed congratulatory messages from Sikyong Tsering and Khenpo Sonam Tempel, Speaker of Tibetan Parliament in Exile, on their appointment as Chairperson and General Secretary of Parliamentary Support Group. Khenpo Sonam Tempel, the Speaker of Tibetan Parliament in Exile, congratulated Hong Sung-han on his appointment as Taiwan's Minister of Labour, praising his steadfast support for Tibet as a member of the Taiwan Parliamentary Group for Tibet. The Speaker commended Hong's wisdom, integrity and dedication, noting his efforts for the Tibetan cause, including participation in the aid WPCT in Washington, D.C., and his visit to Dharamshala to discuss countering Chinese misinformation and strengthening ties between Taiwanese and Tibetan parliaments. He expressed confidence in Hong's ability to amplify Tibet's voice globally and wished him success in his new role. That is all the news for this week's edition of Tibet This Week. Thank you so much for watching and Happy New Year 2025.